Good evening, everyone. We begin with two big updates in the case of missing Portageville teenager Kaniah Jennings.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol confirms a person of interest in her disappearance, along with a criminal case also connected to the investigation. Brianna Harris joins us live in the studio now with the latest details at 6. Brianna.
Jeff, Kathy, the man arrested in Arkansas the day after Kaniah Jennings went missing is now considered a person of interest in her case. Blake Patrick is from East Prairie. He's currently charged with tampering with a stolen vehicle and felony stealing. According to Sergeant Brad Gurman with the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Patrick is considered a person of interest in Jennings' disappearance. We're also learning about charges against a second man. Donald Peoples of Hayti is charged with tampering with physical evidence in a felony prosecution. Sergeant Gurman confirms the case against Peoples is connected to the Jennings investigation. According to court records, Peoples is accused of deleting text messages to disrupt a kidnapping investigation. Blake Patrick makes his first court appearance in Pemiscot County tomorrow morning. In the meantime, Kaniah Jennings' family and friends spent the day searching for her in and around Harrisburg, Arkansas. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Kathy, back to you.
Brianna, thank you.